Hi guys, it's Sweety Pie. Welcome back to my channel. Or if this is the first time you've ever laid eyes on my channel, hi. This is not my normal setup where you can like barely see me, but I am doing my eyeshadow palette collection video today. This is gonna be a video. I can't predict exactly how long this is gonna be, but I can predict it maybe over 45 minutes. But yeah, if you guys are interested in my ever-growing eyeshadow palette collection, please stay tuned. Yeah, I'm gonna go through it all, and I'm not gonna be doing swatches or anything like that. And I think I may do a declutter after this, just because then I'll be able to see exactly what I have. And I know there's some things that I don't need anymore, don't want anymore, don't use anymore, all of the above. So yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing my eyeshadow palette collection, then yeah, stay tuned. Of course, subscribe, please. And yeah, click the bell notification and like this video if you enjoy collection videos, because I have tons of other stuff. I'd really like to do a face palette, because that is this drawer down here. Oh, that feels like it literally is going to fall apart. I am wearing the Just My Luck palette today from ColourPop. I hopefully will have this look up on Instagram soon. I've been trying to do some like short look videos. I'm no good at that type of thing. But yeah, if you're interested in this video, stay tuned, and yeah, let's get into this. Alright guys, well I just pulled the palettes that were in my everyday stash, and then I have a few up here that I will show you guys, and then we'll go down to the mother load. So I actually have a couple pressed glitter palettes from Pixie. They were half price, and I have had a lot of luck with them. Oh, so pretty. They do obviously need a glitter glue, but they are super pigmented and they stayed in place. I even put some in the corner of my eye yesterday and I had no problems. Then I have my first Viseart palette, which I'm not going to really be able to give you a full review on this yet because I haven't reviewed it yet. I've only used it three times now, and I still need to use these colors up here. I have some new Wet n Wild palettes in here in my stash that I want to use. This is called Cosmic Collision. And then there is VI Purple. Then I also have the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette, which I did a palette bingo on. This one is so cool. Finally trying out some bright colors I see. And then we have the Just My Luck, which is what I'm wearing today. And I plan on actually taking this out and putting it in my larger palette of ColourPop shades, which I'm sure you'll see soon. And then last but not least, I have the Morphe X James Charles palette, which I purchased from Sephora because I think that this is a really iconic palette now. It's gotten a lot of attention. So I don't have a review on this. I've only used it like twice. It's a big palette though. Like, it's huge. So let's just run through these two little things on my desk. The first one I have here is actually the Saint and Sinner palette, as well as the Fetish palette from Kat Von D. I depotted both of them. I know it looks a sight, but I use this all the time. I love Kat Von D's shadows. I wish they were more easily depotted though. And the other side is all the shimmers. Ooh. Like, look at that green. So pretty. And then I think this one is empty. This is the one I started with, and I haven't got anything in it yet. Ooh, there is eyeshadow in it though. So yeah, I'm gonna depot some other stuff sooner or later, and I've got that one kind of on backup. I have here the Solar Flare palette by BH Cosmetics. I like these shadows, but I think that they definitely need like a mixing medium, water, and I've also noticed I don't hit hard pan on these. I can literally take a wet brush and jam it in there, and yeah, like no hard pan. So really cute palette for the money. Honestly, BH Cosmetics, I have quite a few of their palettes. I really like their formula. I love what they stand for. Their beauty is just really cheap and really good. So here I actually have, another thing is I am a really big fan of Kat Von D, so obviously I have quite a lot of her stuff. This is her Shade and Light palette. This one is in Smoke. And these are just like amazingly pigmented matte shades. And then this one is in Plum, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Like, look at that packaging. I could not depot these, even though I probably use them more. I couldn't do it because the packaging is just phenomenal on these. I also have the Pastel Goth. And it looks like that. Really nice palette as well. Kat Von D makes amazing shades. This is really old. This is all the matte shades I have from Coastal Scents. They're an on and off brand. Some of their stuff works amazing. Some of their eyeshadows do not work at all. So I have a couple of these in my collection from back in the day. Then we have some Violet Voss up here. This is Violet Voss Flamingo palette. I like this palette, but I also think that, I don't know, some of the shades cooperated amazingly while others didn't cooperate as well. And I hated that they had a black in here. Like all these beautiful, like they should have had like a warm red, a deep brown, something else other than that black. I don't know. But the shimmers, Violet Voss makes amazing shimmers. They really are exactly what they look like in the pan. So yeah, that I don't even know if I buy a lot of limited edition as well, which I shouldn't, but some things just you can't not buy. Another Violet Voss, this is the Rainbow palette. Some beautiful all shimmer shades in there. This Eclipse shade, oh, I remember doing like super black smoky eye with that on my channel. Oh, it was so amazing. Another Kat Von D. This is her Metal Matte. I really hope she comes out with another one of these. Please, Kat Von D, come out with another one of these. The colorful one. I really love it. And it is just 5 mattes and then 5 shimmers from her Metal Matte palette. Next, I have the Rude Cosmetics. This is their Fairy Tale palette. This is amazing for the cash. Honestly, these shades work really well. Some of them do run into each other. Obviously, when you get a palette this size, you are going to have some similarities, but some of these shades are just so impactful, and I think I paid like $20 for these palettes, if that. Another palette that I absolutely adore is the OMG palette by, oh gosh, Crown Brushes. This is doubled after the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is beautiful. The mattes work amazing. The shimmers are gorgeous. This is gorgeous. If you didn't want to buy the Morphe one, or if you didn't already have it, this is an awesome palette. And then the last one I have up here, oh, is one that has some intense packaging. This is the Urban Decay. What did they call this? Gosh, what did they call this palette? The Heavy Metals? Yes, it was the Heavy Metals, wasn't it? Yes, and that looks like this. The packaging is ridiculous, but these shades are beautiful. I wonder if I can, there we go. They're so pretty. There's like a neutral side and a colorful side. Tons of like silvers, and just the packaging is just terrible though. I don't know what they were thinking. This is insane. Like it should have just been paper or cardboard, I guess it is. But yeah, now I'm going to put everything back into my little holders here, and I'm going to pull out one of the 5 drawers that we have down here full of palettes. All right, so the first box I have here, or drawer I should say, is mostly my drugstore palettes. I think it's all drugstore palettes pretty much. So they may not be completely by brand, but I'm assuming they'll probably be close to it. The first one I have is actually not really a drugstore palette. It's actually one that I just reviewed not long ago. This is the Go-To Beauty Cocoa palette, and it's Danielle Bregoli's, you know, her brand, Copycat Beauty. Not all that good, honestly, guys. Like, this palette wasn't. But yeah, next. So I have some of these e.l.f. palettes. I'm sure I have more of them in here, but yeah, let's go in. This is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte Holy Smokes palette. You get a ton of really, really smoky shades, and I actually really like e.l.f.'s formula. I think that it's, I'm trying to figure out how I would hold this without the mirror. There we go. So yeah, this is a really nice formula. I think that it's one of those formulas, well, where if you blend too many shadows on top of each other, it gets super muddy though, so you do want to be aware of that when you get one of those palettes. Then we have a bunch of Wet n Wild palettes. This is, what is this one? Not a Basic Peach, and I reviewed all of these last year. So we have Not a Basic Peach. We have the Rose in the Air. We have the Nude Awakening. I have the Flock Party. These two shades are really pretty. And then I also have the infamous Comfort Zone. Then we go into some CoverGirl palettes. This is called CoverGirl True Naked Peach Punch. Oh, come on. There we go. Then we have CoverGirl's Dazed, which I really love. This is such a cute palette. If you want to try some color on the budget at the drugstore, definitely this is such a nice palette, and most of them are shimmers. The only one that's a matte is this blue one right here, and it actually works really well. I remember using this palette and I was like, damn, go CoverGirl. The next one I have is another color CoverGirl. This is the Katy Kat palette. I wasn't amazingly thrilled with this. The shades can be built up. Some of them are pretty. This like greenish, bluish one. MAC has a color like that. So does every other brand. But yeah, this was all right for me. It wasn't amazing, but it was all right. Then another CoverGirl palette, this is called the Chocoholic. This smells terrible, but the shades actually work pretty darn well. So I don't know if you like the smell. Oh, maybe it was the peach one. Ooh, the chocolate actually smells pretty good. I'm guaranteeing it's got to be that peach one then, because one of these did not smell that great. Let's go into the peach one. Bingo! Yeah, they just got the peach. They just got the scent wrong. They just got it wrong. They got it wrong. Then I have this one, which is the True Naked Smoky. This is an older version, although I didn't get this too long ago. I like it and everything, but I feel like they went like really black with some of these shades. So, I don't know. It's okay. It's not my favorite one. My favorite one is probably the Dazed palette out of those. But I'm not saying you couldn't create some nice looks with them, because you could. This is a really new one. This is the Physicians Formula Tropic Days. This is beautiful. Some of the mattes, like, no, all of the mattes in here, I think, so pigmented, beautiful. This shade up here, super, super metallic. And then you have some, like, shimmery shades. Not every one is going to be absolutely perfect, but this is a nice palette. I did a review on it. 90% of these palettes I did reviews on. You know, go into my channel, type into the little eye, and you should be able to find what I'm talking about. This is the Lemonade Craze from Maybelline. I didn't love this palette. Some of the shades are good, some of the shades are crap. It was a mix. Then we have a really old Wet n Wild palette that I never use, but I don't want to get rid of it. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon in Walking the Red Carpet. This gold is actually quite pretty with a glitter glue, but like not something I use on an everyday basis anymore. Now I have a few Essence palettes as well in here. I did a full review on these as well. This is the in I'm With the Band. It looks like this. These have some really amazing drugstore shades, and I think these were $14 a piece. This is the one I didn't like as much. This is the Fairy Wings and Magical Things, just because, I don't know, it's very pastel. Very, very pastel. All right, and then we have this last one in this format called Spice Up Your Life. And that red in the corner over there is really nice. Not sure if you can still buy these on like Essence's website or where you can buy them. All right, this is another Essence palette. I just saw them in there and I was like, well, I might as well do both of them. The Future Is Me. Now these were like $15.99 and I don't think that they're all that worth it. There are some really pretty shades in both these palettes, but I don't know, they're okay. They're okay. Too Glam to Give a Damn is probably my favorite just because of those, like the dark plum. This is really pretty. This makes a gorgeous like goldy highlight. And this is an awesome packaging for Essence. They're doing something really different. I don't know if I have, oh, I do. This is what their old packaging used to look like. This is the All About Chocolates by Essence. This is literally broken. I can't get this, I can't give this away. This is like something from my young adulthood. Did I just scratch that with my nail? I don't know. Anyway, this is what their old packaging looked like. Now they're going to cardboard. There is still, I think, some plastic in here. Yeah, this is still plastic. I don't know why they did that. Ugh, but these are all paper. Like, they're all cardboard, which is good. All right, now I've got some hard candy palettes. These are from last year as well. This one is called the Don't Dull My Shine. It's all metallics. I'd say 75% really good, 25% eh. If you like shimmers and you don't want to, you know, spend a whole ton, there's a lot of shimmery, colorful shades that you could play with in here. Another one they have is this one, which is the Earthy Vixen. The mattes in here work really well. Oh, they have this little clasp. I hate that. The mattes in here work really nicely. I love this green. Oh, I said I wasn't going to swatch, but this green is so pretty. The yellow actually works pretty well. I think that a lot of these drugstore eyeshadows, besides the Wet n Wild ones, they definitely need like a tackier MAC paint pot type of a primer to really make them stand out. This one I really enjoy as well. This one is the Matte Shadow Pro Palette. Oh, if I could get it open. This one is a matte lover's, neutral lover's dream for half the price of a high-end palette, and they blend beautifully. They work really nicely. I think that this was a great find for hard candy. This is awesome. Like, they did a good job on this. And then the last one here is their Look Pro Eyeshadow Pro Palette. And this one's nice as well. I actually think that this looks a lot like the Huda Beauty palette. Nowhere near as good, but I like it. It's got some pretty shades here, like this one. The only thing is with some of these shimmers, I really think that getting them wet makes them just that much better. That much more emollient on the eyes, smoother, better, just better. All right, we're getting down to the nitty gritty in here. I have this little Physicians Formula palette, which I will probably just declutter because I really, really disliked this palette. Oh, and I can't even get it open. There we go. Please, brands, don't make eyeshadow palettes where the colors literally touch. Like, some of these shades are really smooth and pretty. Like, look at the pigment on that white. But, like, do not put a dark black or brown beside a shimmery white. Come on, brands. That's Physicians Formula. And then I have a few more e.l.f. palettes. This is a really old e.l.f. palette. Prism palette. Really love these shimmers. Now, these are not metallics. They are just pure shimmers, but they are so pretty. Oh, I know they have a purple version of this, and I wish I could find it because I think I would love that. This one is the Nude Mood palette. Again, there's a lot of repetition with this palette. They blend pretty. They look nice on the eyes, but they're like all of these look exactly the same on the eyes. So, you know, beware, you're going to get some overlap. I have some Milani in here, and I know I have some extra drugstore palettes kicking around somewhere. So this won't be the end of this, but yes, this is a Milani palette. This is their Plum Basics. Cute palette. The mattes are beautiful. Absolutely insane. It was basic. It's a basic palette. This one I am definitely throwing out. This is like, I can't even believe you. Almay, come on. Come on. Then we've got this one. This is Summer Breeze. This is another matte palette. This one is so pretty. But again, like all of these shades are going to look the same on the eyes. Really nice formula. Beautiful. Cheap. For drugstore. Actually, e.l.f. is getting up there in price, honestly. But I do like the formula of these shadows. I just think they put too many shades that are exactly the same. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know about the NYX Metal palette. This is a nice palette. You can't buy it anymore. I don't think. They were $50. I got it for my birthday whenever they brought that out, like 2 years ago, I guess. I was appalled that it was $50. So I've done a couple of videos about how NYX really needs to be serious about what they bring out. It's ridiculous. $50. This one I really like as well. Perfect Filter by NYX. These work beautifully. If you like warm tones, the shimmers are so pretty. So pretty in this palette. They have like shimmers, and then they have like, not glitters, but you know, really metallic formula. This is like the most beautiful inner corner highlight I've ever seen in my life. I like this palette a lot, and it's very like, it sets you up for your look. It has like a brow bone, it has a, you know, all over the crease, then you have your darker shades. You can go a little cooler with this, but it's mostly warm tones. This one is the Rustic Antique. Then we have the Ultimate Brights palette, which everybody knows of. I don't like this that much. I think it's okay, but I think that you can definitely get better ones. Maybe not at the drugstore. NYX is probably the only one really doing it at the drugstore that's like this bright, but I don't know. I never really vibed that well with that palette. And then the last one we have in this box, oh my, is the it's the City Kits Maybelline Urban Lights palette. This is really pretty. Like, if you can get this in store, this is a really beautiful palette. Like, honestly, ooh, this shadow is like falling out here. I never really mentioned this that much on my channel, but like, there are some really gorgeous shades in here. All right, guys, next box. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go get myself a drink because I probably have been talking for like 20 minutes now. All right, so into the next box. This is sadly just a mishmash. When I did my palettes the first time, they pretty much just fit. And yeah, we have got some more. So this one is just a mishmash. There's some high end, there's some low end. There's some palettes that are completely empty. I'll get through them. Anyway, the Rude Awakening Pulp Fiction palette. I just reviewed this not long ago. Oh, there we go. And it looks like this. Super similar to Subculture, but nowhere near as pigmented. So if you were looking for something that you had to build a little more, this might be up your alley. Gosh, I'm like losing my voice. All right, I do have a couple Morphe palettes. This is the 35B palette, which is still sold in Canada. This was the first Morphe that I ordered from their site. It looks like that. Then we have a Rogue face palette that will not fit into my face palette drawer. I want to just depot this so badly. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Collection by Casey Holmes. There was a perfume and a lip. I reviewed this not long ago as well. super bulky, super big, super unnecessary. Then I have a bunch of brand new eyeshadow palettes that I just reviewed on my channel. This is the Soft and Sultry by Milani, and really pretty, builds on top of each other so well. Like, Milani's got some seriously amazing eyeshadows for Drugstore. Mind you, I'm pretty sure these were like $24, so not that cheap. This one is my favorite one though. This is the Pure Passion. So pretty. Then we have a couple more from Maybelline. The Matte Bar, this ranked the lowest in my video. It's a nice palette. I don't know, I just don't like it as much as I liked the other ones that were coming out at the time. But like, oh, these berries, super, super pretty. Then we have the Maybelline Soda Pop palette, which is pretty new to me as well. I like this so much better than I liked the Lemonade palette. It was so much more pigmented, so it just was my color story, and I found that the purples worked really well. Then we have a NYX palette. This is the Off Tropic palette. Super, super, super neon here, and the shades work really well. There is so little fallout. This formula, I wish this formula was the formula that was in the Brights palette, because this is so nice. Oh, the only thing I don't like is that shimmery shade right there. It's kind of just meh. And I think they could have made it something better than a gold. Alright, so we're getting into more high-end palettes now. I've got a few lower-end palettes in here as well, but we'll get through them as we go. This is my only Lime Crime palette. This is the Venus. I love this. I think this is so pretty. Like, this color story speaks to me so much with the peaches. There's a lot of neutral tones in here as well. Like, you could make a cool tone look with this, no problem. But, oh, I love this palette. So pretty. Then we have another Violet Voss palette. This is, I think, my first Violet Voss palette. This is the Hashtag palette. Violet Voss's shimmers are so pretty. They're so beautiful. And I think that these colors down here, they work all right. The only one I was kind of weirded out by was Life, because it's kind of a shimmer, but it's kind of a matte. It's a little hard to work with. These bronzes, like if you like bronze and purple, this palette is totally for you. Then we have a somewhat newer palette. This is the Tarte Pro Remix palette. Oh, it's covered in eyeshadow. They did like this cool design where it changes. And then this is the inside. Pretty nice palette. Not my favorite palette in the world, but the shimmers worked really well. A lot of these shimmers they are knock out of the park. But yeah, remember, you can go check out my channel for any review on pretty much any one of these palettes. Alright, so here we have a whole bunch of empty palettes. These are all the ColourPop palettes that I have, but they're in a different place. We'll get there, I promise you. I have the Golden State of Mind. I have the All I See Is Magic, the My Little Pony, and then my newest one, the Chasing Rainbows. Then down below here, I have a couple palettes that are just way too big to fit in my collection. This is the Juvia's Place Magic palette. This is the Big Boy. This was my first purchase from Juvia's Place, and it was a lot of money. It was like $80. I kind of kick myself now knowing that I could get a better deal. But beautiful shades. Talk about, like, they make some gorgeous freaking eyeshadows. Oh, one thing I did want to mention though is these two shades down here, they are harder to blend. So, like, don't be deceived by some of the Instagram videos that you watch. The darker colors, they need to be, you know, finessed. This is a palette that I was really not too amazed by. This is the Too Faced 20th anniversary. Not only is it a huge palette, but it only has 3 mattes in it. It's full of shimmers, and although some of these shimmers are really, really beautiful, it's so, like, reflective that it's hard for you to see the actual... Oh, there we go. So yeah, it's so many shimmers, and I just didn't like the consistency of some of them. I don't know. I just wasn't enthused by this palette all that much. I wonder if my friend would like that palette. I don't know. I don't know what I'm decluttering right now. I'm going to kind of just weigh what I want to get rid of. All right, I have some palettes in here that I never use anymore, and I really should just get rid of them. These two are definitely kind of sentimental. These are the Focallure palettes, and they look like this, if I can get them open. There we go. They look like this, and this is actually one of the most viewed videos on my channel, and that's why I keep this. The eyeshadows are still good, but have I had better? Oh my gosh, have I had better? I had better. But I bought them off eBay, and you know, it's just a memory that, you know, it's a happy memory. Another thing I have here is these Technique electric palettes, and I got these off eBay as well. I used the crap out of these when I was, like, I don't know, probably 20. Like, look at this. That is insane. And I just refuse to get rid of these because they're a piece of me. I got this one quite a bit later. So you can tell I haven't hit pan on any of these because I don't really use them anymore. But these were beautiful, and they still are. Like, honestly, they're so smooth. Like, oh, so smooth. So it's not that they're not a good eyeshadow. It's just like, come on, look at my freaking collection here, people. I have a Quo eyeshadow palette that I'm probably just going to declutter, but I did use this a lot. This was like the first like matte eyeshadows I started to deal with, and a lot of these aren't even mattes. So yeah, Quo is a brand that you get in Canada. Also, I have this is another Essence palette. This is the one I thought I threw away. I'm so happy I didn't. Okay, I use this so much, like so much. This is the Sunrise palette, I think. I honestly can't tell you because there's nothing on the lid anymore. Oh, it is the Sunrise palette. It does say it on the back. But yeah, I used this so much when I was younger, and I loved it so much. And the shimmers, Essence brings out some really nice shimmers, but when they do good with their mattes, normally the shimmers aren't always as good in those palettes for some reason. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like blown away by what the heck is going on over there. Last little eyeshadow palette in here is the BH Cosmetics Dual Effect Universal Go On The Go. I'm probably just going to get rid of this. I've used this maybe 3 times. The shimmers aren't bad. Like, they're nice. They're not bad. But, like, this is just probably never going to get used in my collection. Then I have 3 of lip palettes. I do have the Anastasia one somewhere, but I know it's kicking around. I really need to get rid of these as well. I don't use them. Now, the Vice palette I really loved, and I think it was mostly because of a YouTuber that I watched that really enjoyed them as well, and I was like, see, this can be done. But honestly, if you're going to reapply a lipstick, it's just not possible, and these just don't get used that often. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably just keep them because they're not really something that you can actually give away. So, oh, I actually broke the packaging. Damn. Anyways, then I just have these 2. This is the BH Cosmetics Nude Lips to Go. These are really pigmented. They're like a glossy lipstick. If I could carry it around, I probably would. And then the Pro Lip Cream palette by, this one is actually, it's pretty good too. Like, their pigmentation is good. It's just like a cream lipstick. I would probably use them. Oh, I should stick them. You know what? I'm going to stick these in too because I don't wear a whole lot of lipstick, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to stick these in my everyday makeup drawer and see if they get used. Alright guys, well, we are down to the end of this box. There is nothing. Oh, no, I did miss the 2. I have 2 Smashbox palettes in here. I got them in a set for Christmas 2 years ago, I think. I don't like their eyeshadow formula, I don't think. I don't like it that much. I'm probably going to give this to one of the girls that I absolutely adore at work, because this one's not bad, like this Blaze one, but honestly, it's just, I don't know. I don't like their formula. It's not that pigmented. I'm going to try them again just to see if maybe I did it wrong at different time, different feelings, you know, all that good jazz. Yeah, and then in the bottom of this, I just have some makeup bags. You know, girl can't have enough. Oh, what is in here? Oh, there's like samples in here. Right, so now we're into mostly, if not all, high-end palettes. There's a couple sprinkled throughout that aren't, but we have 3 drawers of palettes left. Oh, Melissa, shame on you. Anyway, let's get into these palettes. So the first one here I actually have is from Focallure. I don't think I've ever done a video on this. This is actually a pretty nice palette. This is the Twilight palette, and one of my subscribers, one of my friends here on YouTube, she pointed me in this direction, and like some of these are so freaking gorgeous. Like, I mean, drop dead gorgeous. The only problem I ever have with these is just make sure you're putting them on a tacky base. Like, oh, they're so pretty. And like, these are right up my alley type of colors. So yeah, I like this palette. Oh, I don't have anything. You know what? We're just gonna use my, I'm kind of wearing like a PJ dress type of deal. So anyway, Huda Beauty. I love her eyeshadows. Let's just put that. I love her palettes. They are so like my type of palette. This is the Desert Dusk palette. Like, oh my God. I got both of these for my birthday. So last year I got the Desert Dusk palette. These are amazing. I love her mattes. They are like, they're just like a very odd formula. They are cornstarch mattes, so they definitely, they have like a weird texture to them. They're really rough, but the pigmentation and the blendability, and the shimmers. And I actually like the pressed glitters as well. I know a lot of people don't enjoy that, but I kind of like having a coordinating glitter. So yeah. Then we have the New Nudes palette. This is gorgeous as well. I think this is probably my favorite Huda Beauty palette. It's so pinky and it's so pretty, and like, oh my goodness, these shades here, they knock your socks off. Like, they're beautiful. If you're looking for a Huda Beauty palette and you're willing to pay the $85, you love pinks, burgundies, this is awesome. Now, the base in here, like, it hasn't dried out, like, and it's all right, but I prefer a whiter base. I don't know. I don't love that the base is in there, but if you want an all, like, literally just take this palette and leave, you could do that. The next one I have is the Pretty Rich by Too Faced. This is another, oh, there's like some blue in one of those shadows. Oops. This is another like pressed glitter palette. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 glitters. This is an okay palette. Not my favorite palette in my whole collection. These, like this glitter here and this one here, especially the gold one, super beautiful, like just absolutely stunning. But I don't know, I just wasn't like, it's a nice, I love the packaging. I think it's really pretty. This like Clutch Your Pearl is like a duochrome. I like it. This one here, Princess Cut, I was disappointed in. It's got like flecks of glitter in it. I don't know. I just, not my favorite palette, but not a bad palette. Another palette I have from Too Faced is their Chocolate Bar palette. This is one I actually got on sale. This is the only chocolate bar palette I actually have from Too Faced. I like it, but it is very basic. If you're looking for everyday basic looks, this is definitely, oh, and it smells really beautiful. So yeah, if you're looking for everyday basic, there's some plum in here, lots of champagne. They have like white chocolate, which I think this is an everyday palette lover's dream. Definitely a staple, you know, if you're looking for that kind of palette. Next, I have my Natasha Denona palettes. The only palette I don't have that she has in these minis is the Nude palette, which I just don't need it. That's just the truth. It swatched beautifully in store, but I just don't need a nude palette. Anyway, this one is the Mini Lila palette, and I love the packaging. Honestly, it's like, like really, really sleek drugstore. It's so weird, like with the rounded edges. I don't know. Anyway, this is the Lila. Probably my favorite one. Then we have the Star palette, which, oh, this blue-brown pigment, so pretty. And they all kind of have a different mix of mattes and shimmers. And then we have the Sunset Mini, which was the first one, and then came the Star and then the Lila. Or no, the Lila and then the Star. All right. So 3 things left in here. We have this, okay? This is not something I use really at all anymore. I don't think I've used this in probably 6 months to a year. This was like one of my very first nude eyeshadow palettes. I purchased it off eBay. I beat the heck out of it, and it was really good. Like, I thought this was really good. I used this, like, you can see the dents in these shadows are large. This is where I started to realize that I really love like these types of brown shades, and I kind of stray away more from the cool shades. But anyway, like this palette a lot. I don't know if you can pick it up anymore. I don't know if it's like something I should be promoting to pick up. It's just a like no branded type of deal, but I have kept it as a memory more than anything else. Then I have the Urban Decay Moondust palette. I use this a lot, and this is really pretty. I think these shimmers are gorgeous. Like, oh my gosh, that one right there, Element, and this one here, Igniter. Or no, Light Year. I'm an idiot. I'm reading them upside down. But yeah, super, super pretty. The shimmers are nice. They really are. Then we have, the Just Peachy Mattes palette. Now this one, I was like a little bit let down by this. People really hyped this palette up, and as much as I like it, I just came out with like the exact same look every time I found. I don't know. I think I definitely have to give this another try. I want to pull some of these palettes and just start, you know, really trying to use my collection. So yeah, let's get into the next pile of palettes. We got 2 boxes left, or containers, I don't know. I really need another way to store my stuff, but this is the way we have right now. Anyway, let's put all these back. What people in the United States would call drugstore, I kind of call it like internet makeup that I had to buy online. That's kind of what I'm going for here. So we'll just dive in. The first one is one that I've wanted to show you for a while now, and these are a little bit bigger, these palettes. So I think I want to put this on the desk. I hope that doesn't look too ugly back there, but these palettes are kind of big. So yeah, this is what I have all of my ColourPop singles in. I love this. This is literally, this was an eBay palette, and I turned it into my own Z palette, essentially. I put magnet in the bottom. All of them are already magnetized, and there's some Makeup Forever eyeshadows that I got in like a sample pack, and then the rest of these are all my ColourPop shadows, and the lucky one I think will be the last one that'll be able to fit in here. So I'm excited to finish this palette off. The next one that I'm gonna, here is my lip palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I am literally gonna throw this. I love the formula of these lipsticks. They are like a really long wear matte formula, and they give you so much to work with. Like, I'm putting this in my everyday makeup, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Because most of the time, like, I only wear lipstick when I am, you know, going out of the house, and most of the time I don't reapply it, or I'll like put a gloss over top. I'm talking too much. Let's just continue while I speak. This is the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette. This is the only one of these little palettes I actually own. I think this is so gorgeous. Like, wow, the colors are stunning. These are pretty, just like her other palettes. The same kind of formula in here. I like it. I don't know about everybody else, but I do. This is a palette that I don't even know if I should have bought this. This is the 3502. And when I first, when they were first bringing it out, I was like, oh my gosh. Like these two shades especially, they just drew me in. But of course, I didn't want to order off of Morphe's website. I didn't want to pay shipping, so it never happened. Well, they came to Sephora. And I bought it. I'm so weak. I like this palette. I think it's really nice, but there's so much overlap. Like honestly, if you had put like these in there and then like a couple of these and a couple darker tones, I would have been happy with that. Like all I really want is like this square of colors right here. Regardless, really nice palette. Didn't have any problems blending or anything like that. So I actually like Morphe shadows are not like, they're not the same as Huda Beauty or Urban Decay, but they are pretty darn good. Like I can definitely see why people like to use them because they're extremely cheap and like some of their shadows are really pigmented for the cost that they're, you know, giving them to people. This is the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne palette. I love Kristen Leanne. When they collabed, I was like, I'm buying that palette. And it looks like this. This is so pretty. My favorite shade in here is definitely Leo. And she's got two duochromes, Leo and Brixton. Let me see if I can, oh my god, like look at that. It's so pretty, guys. And the other shades are really pretty as well. It is kind of a mixed up palette because obviously there are two mattes in the palette and that's it. But honestly, even I know that you can't get this anymore, so I may just depot it. I don't know. I love this palette though. I don't think I am going to depot it. I'll just pull it out and use it. You know, maybe we'll do a throwback on it or something. I'd like to start doing something like that actually. Anyways, next palette I have. Now, this palette is kind of funny. Take Me to Brazil by BH Cosmetics. Their very first one. At first, I really didn't like this palette at all. But I started using it again, and I think that as long as you have a really nice tacky base, these can work really well. Now the shimmers in here, don't even think of them as shimmers, just think of them as mattes, honestly. Do you see the amount of matte color you're getting here? Like, because the shimmers, like here, this acid green shimmer, like look, it looks like a matte. It's definitely, there are no shimmers in here. They are like mild satins at best. And when I started thinking of it like this, I hate this color here. This is like a waste of time. It's like this off color green, very odd, very chalky, but the black is really nice. So if you thought about this as a all matte palette, now I don't have the brand new one they came out with, I can actually use this palette. It's probably one that I probably won't keep because I do have better now in my collection, but it did work better the second time around, or the fifth, sixth, or seventh time around. I can't remember how many times I used that palette and I didn't like it. I don't know. Now I have, this is the Modern Neutrals by BH Cosmetics. This is beautiful. If you are into neutral eyes, if I can get it open, if you're into neutral eyeshadows and you want them on the cheap, BH Cosmetics is great. These shadows work really beautifully. They are pigmented. They build on each other really nicely. I really like BH Cosmetics. That's why I was so like, oh, when I didn't like this one. I was like, this is the first one I haven't liked. This is a brand that I actually purchased at my local showcase. This is OTZ. And there are, I think I have another one of these. I can't remember. This is their, gosh, do they even have a name? I don't even, this is their 350 palette. This is super similar to, like Morphe's original 350 palette. The colors work pretty good. They're not like a high-end shadow at all. They're drugstore at best, but there are some pigment here. They do blend pretty. I think there's a lot of overlap, but the shimmers are nice as well. I don't know. It's an okay palette. It's an all right palette. Then we have a palette that was actually, I think this one was in my best of the year. This is a beautiful palette. This is the Weekend Festival by BH Cosmetics. Absolutely phenomenal. The shades, like there isn't a shade in here that doesn't work really wonderfully. Like, oh, it's beautiful. If you're into color, if you're into, like, there's a lot of mattes in here too, like warm mattes. There's a blue matte, there's a pink matte, there's some like neutral pops here and there. Really pretty palette. I was really impressed by this one last year. Then we have the Revolution Emily Edit the Wants palette. And, oh gosh, I'm so mad at this. I ended up busting this. It was me that busted it. It wasn't the packaging. This palette is really pretty. Some of the shimmers I don't love, like that's for sure, but Emily is not a full-on glitter shimmer type of woman. She likes to use shimmers in the crease. She likes to be able to have versatility, and I think that if you pick up these shimmers with a wet brush, they're absolutely phenomenal. So it's very versatile. I want to give this palette another go. I love Emily. She is my favorite YouTuber at the moment. Like, she really is. So I might have a biased opinion. I don't know. But I just love her with all my being. I think that she is the most creative and the most genuine YouTuber, and I hope that I can be half the person she has been on this platform. Anyway, so we're gonna go into a couple more before I start crying. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade Craze palette. I still have the cardboard because I think it's so pretty. I like this palette, but at the same time, some of these shimmers are extremely difficult to work with. They have some beautiful mattes, like these mattes work phenomenal, but like these shimmers here, some of them are just plain hard to get out of the pan. Like, see me trying to swatch here? They're just, like, you know, can you see like what that looks like? It's just not that great. I really like the lemon soda shade. That brings off a lot of like pigment. It's easy to use. Something is going on with these shadows here that I just didn't love, which I hate because I want their berries and cream palette, but I just didn't want to buy it because I was like, I don't know. Now, this is the only naked palette in their format here that I've ever purchased. This is the Naked Heat palette, one of my very first high-end eyeshadow palettes that I ever bought. I like this palette. I think it is very monochromatic. You're gonna come out with a lot of the same looks with it, but these are really beautiful shadows. And as I said, when you get these warm shades, these really warm like reds, I just I fall to pieces and I want them so badly. The packaging does not stay amazing forever. I don't know if you can see that. It's coming off for sure, but I think I will probably keep this forever because, yeah, it's just a nice palette. Now, I think, yes, okay, so this was this was Too Faced last year's palette. I freaking adore this palette. It's beautiful. I know you can't get it anymore, and I feel like a lot of people trash these types of sets with Too Faced, and I totally do understand, but this one was gorgeous. Some of these shades just give life to me. Party Over Here, which is this one right here, and like that green one trimmed, oh, so pretty. The blush bronzer highlight works great. I really do like this palette. I don't reach into it enough. Okay, guys, I cannot freaking believe it. We are almost at the end. I have one more drawer left, and then I just have some single shadows that I wanted to just kind of touch on lightly. I have a huge ColourPop Super Shock shadow, collection, so I'm just going to show you guys that. And then if you guys would like a swatch party, I have done one in the past, but I have so many more now. I'm thinking I should probably start a new one. Comment down below if you'd like that. It's kind of a lot of work, so just let me know. We are down to the last box. This has been a good one. This has been a long ride. So right here we have all the rest of my Juvia's Place shadows. I have the Mini Masquerade palette, and I love all of these palettes. Juvia's Place has some of the best eyeshadows I have used, like, ever. This is the Saharan 2. I want all of her palettes. I just have not bit the bullet to purchase the ones that I want. out of her newest palettes. Oh, like that green one, but do I need it because I have the Just My Luck? Like, oh, anyway, this is the Nubian 2. This is probably the least liked out of all of them, not because of the quality, just because of the color selection. And then I have the Zulu, which is probably be my favorite. Like, it's a mess. Then we have my, ooh, there's some Tarte ones in here. And then there's some glitter palettes. So here is one from Kat Von D. This is the 20th anniversary. I love this palette. The mattes in here are so nice, but the shimmers aren't as nice. I love the mattes. Like, oh, these greens are freaking amazing. But yeah, like this one I don't love, this one I don't love, and the gold, give or take, it doesn't really matter. This blue one though is absolutely stunning there. But yeah, there were a couple of colors that I didn't absolutely love in that palette. Then I have the Tarte Clay Play. I love the bronzers in here. I love the smell, but I never use this. Like, this is just not a palette. I don't know. I don't know. Don't ask. It was on sale. I purchased it. That's the breaks. These are my Coastal Scents. The rest of the mattes I have, and then the shimmers. Honestly, most of their shimmers aren't all that amazing. Yeah, I might just give these away. They're not bad by any means, but I've got better. I've had better. Then I have two glitter palettes. These are both, no, this is from TZ Cosmetics, and then this one is from iMagic. I got them both from eBay. I love these glitters. They're beautiful. I don't get them in my eye, but I used to have quite a few products from iMagic, so they are like a brand. And then this one is the TZ Galaxy, and I love these glitters as well. Like, I have used this glitter so many times. It's really fine. There's like a mix here. There's some glitter that is like a little more chunky, and then this one I love so much. Oh, it doesn't swatch that well. It's glitter. Very pretty. And then I have, last but not least, my Anastasia Beverly Hills palette collection. I have 4 of them in here, and okay, so we will start with the Modern Renaissance, and I love the Anastasia Beverly Hills formula. It's just, they do pick some basic colors sometimes. So yeah, there is Modern Renaissance. This one is really pretty. And I thought about depotting these so many times and just putting them all into a big Z palette, but I don't know. They're kind of iconic. Oh yeah, let's just jam your finger into the shadows. All right, and then I think Subculture came after that. I like this palette. It was a little bit hard to blend. This electric shade, really hard to work with, but I don't know. Some of these are super, super beautiful on the eyes. So yeah. I don't know. I really want to go back and use these again. Norvina, really pretty. They're going more like in my direction with the like pinks and purples. I just wish they had gone a little more crazy. Like literally, let's just move this over. The Riviera palette, sorry camera, has these absolutely phenomenal shades. Like, they couldn't have put something like Cane's in the Norvina palette. Now, I do understand it was kind of fashioned towards what she wore on an everyday basis, but like, Soul's nice and everything, but I wish they had had a brighter purple in there. Doesn't matter. I've got the Riviera palette, so I could always mix them, but they kind of go together in a lot of ways. Let me just hold them both together. Like, they go together in a lot of ways. A lot of ways. These pinks and the purples would look so beautiful with these colors. This, like, oh, this mustard shade with some of these browns, and then the eccentric with Cabana. Oh, that would be beautiful. Dreamer, that would go with the peaches. Oh, these two are made for each other. And then last but not least, I think this is my last palette in my collection, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I mean, for eyeshadows. I've got a whole ton of face palettes, but these is the last eyeshadow, I think. Well, it is the Soft Glam palette. And I like this palette. I love the shades. I actually like that they went really like, it's like kind of red. And, you know, what is this shade kind of called? Oh, it's hard for me to think. It's like a berry. It's really pretty. I really like these shades. It's a basic palette, but I am really happy I got it. The last thing I wanted to show you, I'm just going to move this out of the way. Oh, let's just pull this little baby over here. Push you guys back up, is my Super Shock Shadow. I'm not going to go through these in like any crazy way. I'm going to take a few of these out because they may spill if I try to. But yes, a few of them I have in here. I used to keep them on a magnet board. I since have changed my mind about that. But yes, the reason why I have so many of these is, one, I love this formula. They are so beautiful. They just, oh, some of these, like, what is this one? Ooh, Daddy. Like, this one is a matte purple. So freaking pigmented and blends really well with other shadows. Like, it's really quite extraordinary. I want to find one that I really love. Ooh, Liberty. Okay, you ever wanted a like, absolutely amazing silver? Like, look at that. Look at that. Like, they are just, they will go for days. And this is like one of the first ones I've ever bought, and that was probably like 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe 2. No, it could be 3. They last for quite a long time. Now, I do not recommend putting them up on a wall like some people do, because I think light will mess with them. I really do think that, because I have had some dry out on me. And of course, you always want to make sure you're doing up those caps. Now, I ended up purchasing the Super Shock Shadow Vault, so I just kept the box, and not only do I have a lot of, this is going to be really hard to show because I don't want them to all topple out, but yes, there are so many in here. I did do a swatch party with the Vault, but I also have like at least 25 or 30 of them that didn't come out of the Vault. The Vault had 20, I think, inside of it, and let me just count for a minute.
1, 2, 3, oh, no, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
So yes, I have 39 of them outside of the Vault collection, but I may just swatch all of them. Like, honestly, I'll just swatch every single one, and yeah, then we'll have kind of like a swatch party. Let me know down in the comments if you would like that. And yeah, just give me 1 second to pull myself together, and we'll do a little outro. Guys, well, that was everything. I know, ridiculous. I'm definitely going to do an eyeshadow palette declutter soon, so stay tuned for that. But as for this video probably won't be posted for a couple weeks. And in that time, I'm going to jam this bag way much more full with stuff. But as for now, let's just take a look at what's in here. Uh-oh, there's a double. Okay, so no, there's a double. I will save that one. Alright, so a few samples in here. We've got, what is this one? This is the Smashbox Studio Skin NARS Concealer, Milk Foundation. We've got a Too Faced Hangover Coconut Water, MAC Fix Plus. I love this for taking your like your shimmer shadows and spraying. This is a perfect size for that. It will last you for a bit. I have the Good Genes by Sunday Riley. I had like 5 of these. I've used quite a few of them. I'm going to pop one in here. Then I also have the Physicians Formula Healthy Lips. This one is in Fight Free Reticles. When I was getting the samples that they were like big boxes of samples, I had a bunch of them. So I saved this one. I will give that to you guys. And then I also have the Tartist lip paint. This one is in Birthday Suit. They always give you this one. I don't know why. If you have this one and you win this giveaway, I'm so sorry. But there's also a Spotlight Physicians Formula Illuminating Primer in here and a Tarte blush in Partay. There you go. I love this blush, but obviously I have literally like 2 of them by now, so we're not gonna dive into that. So yeah, guys, I am going to purchase a few more things, and I will put a picture right here. Of what that looks like. So the rules are simple. I will put them down in the description as well. You obviously have to be in either the US or Canada. I am so sorry, but obviously it's a lot for shipping. So US or Canada, and yeah, comment down below, and the first person to comment down below is gonna win. Yeah, that's as simple as that. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a really wonderful day, night, evening, whatever, and mwah, bye.